COVID-19 numbers in Texas and Austin are going up. Today, the governor pulled back on the reopening of our state, but Austin city leaders have been trying to rein things in for a while now. Mayor Steve Adler joins us to talk more about the governor's orders today. Mayor, thank you so much for being here.
Good to be with you.
How do you feel about the governor shutting down bars and reducing restaurant capacity?
I'm appreciative that the governor has gone and done that. We have to do something to disrupt the trajectory that we're on right now. If we don't, the experts and scientists tell us that we'll overwhelm our hospitals by mid-July. So we have to change the behaviors. We can't just pause with the status quo. We actually have to impose greater restrictions and greater discipline. So I appreciate the governor doing that. But as a community, we have to do a better job. This is crunch time of wearing masks wherever we go, whenever we're around other people, of maintaining social distancing. A lot of the responsibility right now is falling to us as individuals.
How would you have handled the reopening of the state? What would you have done differently, especially as it pertains to Austin?
Well, I probably would have done three things differently. I wouldn't have launched it until we were in a better position with contact tracing and with testing. When we were to open it up in phases, I would have done each phase individually so that we could have gotten the information and data from a phase before we moved to the next phase. We went through the phases too quickly. And then finally, I think that I would have been stronger in making sure that there was a social compact in our community where everybody knew that we're going to open up the economy, but that required a quid pro quo. We could only open up the economy to the degree that everybody was willing to wear face coverings and to social distance and to maintain that measure of discipline, because you cannot open up the economy without doing those other things.
You know, bars and large gatherings have been mentioned as possible reasons for higher COVID-19 numbers, but could recent protests also be a factor here?
Well, I don't know for sure. Anecdotally, we're not seeing that I've heard in the test results we got. And cities around the country that have looked at the protests don't see the uptick for those, probably because they were outside and most all the demonstrators were wearing masks. That said, I'm sure there are more infections associated with that, because you just can't gather people in large numbers and not have that happen to some degree.
Now, the governor has closed tubing and rafting businesses. How will kayak and paddleboard rentals be handled on Lady Bird Lake, for example? Will any restrictions be in place for trails and parks where people gather?
We're looking at that right now, and I would expect that our Parks Department is going to rein in the kinds of activities that we have. But remember, back when we were successfully doing the stay home and be safe order, we still kept parks open and trails open so that people could go out and not just stay in the home, but they could go out and get exercise. But it was important that we do that in a way that did not have people congregating. So we have to look at the activities and keep open the ones that people can do individually and will do individually or just with their family or household. But we're not going to be able to maintain right now the things that pull people together.
All right. Mayor Adler, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us tonight.
Thanks for the invitation.